Hey everyone, welcome to the Dad Challenge podcast. My name is Josh. I am on location somewhere far away with my family on vacation. So obviously my studio is completely different. It is a curtain. But today we've got a special video for you. A lot of people have been waiting for this conversation with none other than Janelle, which is Jesssfam's ex-bestie. It is a video that is crazy. I was like, wow. And again, we're not going to be really surprised by any of this stuff because the depths that Jesssfam will go and the bridges that she will burn in order to put herself ahead of everybody else shouldn't be surprising. And it's not, but let's do it. I want to thank you guys for being here. You guys have been waiting for this conversation to happen for quite some time. It's actually Janelle, which is Jesssfam's ex-best friend, and I know everybody's just waiting for the tea and all this kind of stuff, but I want to just set the tone before we start. This isn't a payback video. This isn't something where you're just kind of dishing tea, but it's honestly just a safe space for you to just set the record straight, which I think is important information. But Janelle has full editing control and she gets to watch this before it's all done. And so Janelle, you know, for good reason, is probably a little bit nervous. So I just wanted you guys to put that all in your head so while you're watching this video, because Jess is someone with a massive platform and Janelle is obviously, I know you got some balls anyway, Janelle, but this can be a scary place, but I wanted you to know that it's a safe space and you've got tons of support here. So with all that said, Thank you for being on the show. I really appreciate you being here.
Thank you for having me.
Now, I had heard about you here and there, and people would say, hey, Janelle's doing a live, you should check it out, and I would see them, and I didn't really know the depths of who you really were. I knew that you were an ex-best friend, or it was on and on again, off again, but so everybody knows, give me the high-level overview, and I've got my notes to the side here. How did you meet Jess, and how did you become friends?
So we knew of each other in middle school. I was friends with Gabe. Gabe dated one of my friends, and you know, it was just young, you know, whatever. I was friends with him. I never even talked to her, I don't even think. And then so when she was pregnant, I was pregnant too. We were friends on MySpace. And she posted on MySpace about her being on the news. And so I went and watched the news because I was like, well, why are you on the news? And it was about YouTube. And I was like, what the hell is YouTube? I had no clue. I had no idea what a vlogger was, nothing. And so I just like binge watched her videos. Then we realized our daughters were born so close together, and on Lilia's first birthday we got the girls together, and then we became better friends when she was pregnant with the twins, and that's when our friendship like really started. Okay, so you've known her since obviously the beginning. Now when Jess was 17 and you were probably similar age, did you find that she was she super immature? Like, I know this is like, and don't answer anything you're not comfortable with answering. Yeah, right. Did she get pregnant on purpose? Not that I know of. I know I've seen like people say, and truly I just like don't understand like how people like dig into things, and I don't understand. But I don't think so. I don't think so. I cannot recall if I've ever honestly straight up asked her because I've never really cared. But my assumption is I don't think so. However, I don't know.
I mean, that speaks more about you than anybody else. That's that you weren't prejudging, you didn't really care. That actually speaks volumes about you, to be honest with you. So that's great. Without going all the way up to the whole history, but like share some of those early memories. What bonded you guys together? How did you get really close? Is there anything that stands out in your mind?
Well, somehow I got invited to her and Drake's first wedding. And we weren't close at all, and she just invited me, and I was super excited because at that point I'd been watching her videos, you know. So I was like, this is the weirdest thing. I didn't know what this was, you know? And so I went to her wedding. It was a great time. I just And then it was when she was pregnant with Drake, but Drake cheated on her, is when she started coming over to my house like a lot. And we would just stay up like super late. Our little girls are running around the house, you know, and we were just all.
You were really close. So let's expand on that a little bit. So that's an interesting part of the story that a lot of people are confused about. Tell me about the whole Drake situation, as much as you know, that you're willing to tell us. Like, how did that all go? It sounded like she was struggling her, and she would hang out with you, and you develop bonds over that relationship. But tell us about how that went down.
Right. Because I was like, oh my God, he cheated on you and you're having twins or whatever. And so he cheated on her with his cousin, actually. I don't know.
What?
I think it's been, cousin by marriage, but still just walked in on it and like saw it. So it was just, it was a bad situation. So then, you know, I had no life, and so I was, you know, hanging out with her because I'm like, dude, our daughters are the same age, and so we were just spending a lot more time together. In the meantime, we're like, you know, tracking Drake down, you know, like hacking into his phone, like finding hella shit out about him. And he was, he's a piece. So
I agree. I want to say this over all the things. Drake's a piece of shit. Like there's nothing I agree more with of Jess than just watching that guy and what he's done. But obviously Jess isn't without her blame, and now there's been some conjecture online that when they got back together, Jess cheated on him as well. Yeah,
I believe that did happen. Right.
But that was after the first time he cheated on her.
Right. And you know, hey, I would have done it too. Fuck that shit. He raises his daughter, and apparently I guess he just had another kid.
Yeah.
But he's never raised the boys, not at all. He's never had a relationship with Landon at all. It's crazy.
Do we know why? Do we know why it's been that way?
I think he's just, I think the public eye was too much for him. I don't think he liked it really at all. You got 3 boys, and he's not raised any of them by any means. You know, most of them call him Drake. They don't even call him Dad. So but he's a good parent to the daughters, I guess. So,
but not okay. So it sounds like you guys bonded over that. It sounded like you guys bonded over that type of situation.
Bonded over that, correct.
Okay, and so then what happened? So she cheats on Drake the second time. The second divorce comes around. Then what happens? How does your friendship kind of flourish and blossom from that point forward?
Oh, just me helping her raise the twins, because her mom's a full-time teacher. Her mom always said, like, I'm not going to help you, you know, or I'm not that I'm not going to help you, you know, obviously she can't, you know, do so much or whatever. So I was with her like every day, almost every day while she was pregnant with the twins. And I was just helping her out, do a lot of stuff. I would watch Lilia for her. And then that's when her and Drake were like starting to reconnect, and I would, you know, bring him to my house so that she can, you know, hang out with him and, you know, have him be around. And then that's when he ended up being there for the twins' birth. Right. Because he just came back around.
So I'm going to clarify all this. So it sounds like Jess is living with her mom at the time. She's got one kid already. She's pregnant with twins like Drake, and then she's pregnant again. Like, in all this time, she's living with her mom the whole time, and her mom's just like, okay.
Her and Drake briefly did move out. They had an apartment, but that's where he was cheating, so she left. But her mom actually created the house to be 2 homes, and it was actually a really cool little deal. You know, Jessica had her side with all the kids, and then her mom had her area. It was really interesting. The garage was put into a bedroom at one point. Really nice. So it did work for quite some time. It did.
And now Jess is doing that with her mom. She has her mom moved into her own little side of the house and stuff like that. Okay.
Right.
So it's interesting. So I didn't know that she lived with her mom that whole time. Eventually, When you're so you're hanging out with Jess, you're doing things like, is it true that even at one point in Jess's, when she's getting her surgeries done, like you're giving her baths and you're nursing her and everything else?
Me? Her?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I would go over and shower her and everything. But when she had like those surgeries, is I had Addie. Well, not the second surgery, but the first surgery is I had Addie for like, you know, a week or so. And
so the first surgery, are we talking about the breast augmentation surgeries?
Yeah.
Okay, so she had that before Chris came into the picture?
No. The
So why didn't
surgeries,
Chris-
we're jumping too far ahead.
Okay, you're right. You're right. Okay, because we both have ADD and my brain's okay. I'm just like, I need to get that. So okay, then you guys start getting on with life and everything else. You tell me a little bit more about your situation with her. Did she pay for you to live there? Did you go on trips? All that kind of stuff.
So in the beginning, it was a lot of me just going over and helping her with the kids, whatever. And then we started like doing more things with the kids. We'd take them to Disney on Ice, and it would just be like me, her, Lilia for a long time, and my daughter. And then it would be, then it was the twins, and we would just do everything with them because, like, I don't know, I loved it. It was so fun.
Mm-hmm.
And
we're gonna talk about maybe that you cleaned their house. Were you there for, I don't know?
Oh my God! I cleaned that house more than Chris ever cleaned those houses. Every single one.
But this is this okay? Give me the timeline. Give me the timeline of when Chris came into the picture.
So Chris came in. Landon was a few months old.
Okay.
Yeah, he was very baby, few months old. They met on Plenty of Fish?
Yep.
You know, and this is one thing is, you know, they didn't date very long. Mm-hmm. We stopped talking for a period because she, like, you know, forgot about me and, you know, had her boyfriend. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, who am I now? Mm-hmm. So we had a period of time where we didn't even talk. And then we started talking again, and then it ended up being the wedding. But the thing is she, like, called out one of my friends for being a deadbeat, but then Chris moved 6 hours away from his 2 boys to go raise 3 or 4 other kids to be with a woman. And I'm like, who the hell is to talk? Because Chris fucking did it to 2 of his kids, and he freaking left, like, so far. I'm like, I don't even want to fucking hear, you know.
Yeah, like, no, this is, and we gotta talk about, we rarely talk about Chris, but we have to talk about Chris because Chris is he's a pivotal person in Jess's world. Like, he obviously is okay with the exploitation of children.
Chris is anything but a great person. Like, okay, he's nice. You know, he's not a dick. He's not a douchebag. You know, he's not. But, like, he's the laziest person I've ever met. And, you know, while he's doing this, that, and the other and doing nothing, I'm taking care of the kids. I'm feeding them because my friend's working. So if she's working and I see him just doing nothing, I'm doing everything. Like, I don't know how many times I, you know, fed those kids, and I'm cleaning because he's not going to do it. Not, you know, I can't even count how many times.
Why are you taking care of Addie while she's out getting her boobs done? Why is she not taking care of her?
Well, that's when she had the tummy tuck and everything. I don't know. I would be the one that takes Addie for, like, most things because she only liked me and Alina.
Oh, so Addie wasn't really into Chris initially at the beginning of the whole thing. Okay. So this is interesting.
No. That Chris and Addie are he treats the 3 boys like crap, and he's never had a relationship with Lilia. Like, Jessica has to yell at him all the time because he doesn't treat them nicely, and he doesn't treat them like his children. Like, he's never, like, you know, she's had to tell him time after time, like, act like you love them, act like you love them.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
And you've seen that behind the scenes.
Yeah, but Addie and Landon are very well taken care of, you know.
Yeah. Okay, so walk me through, what did Chris do before he met Jess? Like, what was his career?
You know, I don't know. I do know that he had, like, maybe 3 or 4 jobs after he got with Jessica, but he never kept a single one.
Okay.
He didn't get fired or anything, but I think he would just like quit. And then eventually he's just not getting a job.
Because he didn't need to, because Jess is paying for everything.
Correct, right.
So walk me through a typical day that you know of at the Jesssfam household. Like, what is it like when they're doing videos? And
I do know, Jessica works late often. I would come and like, chill with her while she's, doing videos and whatnot. And she'd be up, dude, like 3, 4 a.m., 5 a.m. Chris is, doing nothing. And she's up first thing in the morning with all the kids every morning. That's what she does. He's sleeping till whatever time. And then, eventually he figured out to take the kids to school. But it's her getting up every single morning, doing everything, packing all the lunches, everything. And then, she's got to film in between that and do this, that, and the other. And he just like never did anything. It was just.
So what the hell does he do all day long?
No, when I can't speak for Elk Grove at all, but prior video games, like just video games. And
so
I'm
just
like,
kind of like
are you gonna tell your husband to do something or like what? Like whatever. However, sticking on the Chris situation is she said that Chris and I don't even get along or whatever, but me and Chris had quite a few talks about depression because I know that he was depressed after his dad passed. And, obviously she doesn't know anything about mental health. So I was actually encouraging him, like you need to get help or whatever.
Let's address one of the rumors I've been hearing a lot about people that you were going after Chris, trying to get with Chris. Talk about
Chris
and I was like, are you sure?
Me.
Like, you've seen the guy, right? Oh, what?
Chris came on to me at his 30th birthday. I don't have the video, but Jessica has the video.
There's a video.
And he just... Yes, yeah, the whole thing's on video. Not the actual kiss. I don't think that it... But as soon as it happened, as soon as I could get Jessica's attention, I ran upstairs and I was just crying. I was like, girl, like, no, I didn't ask for it. I didn't want it. Yeah.
So Jess knows that he came onto you, kissed you without your consent, by the way. This is what it sounds like to me.
Right.
And she knows. Yeah. And what did she say to you?
Oh, nothing. She wasn't mad at me at all. Like, yeah, no.
Right, good, which is good. But we have to talk about this for a second. It's Chris's 30th birthday party. Can you tell me this story? We need to know the story.
Oh, well, that's when we had like the stripper and we were all just like drinking. We were all drunk or whatever. And it was a good time. It was a great time. But like after everyone was leaving, of course, I'm still there. I'm not going to drive home, And then just no one was around. And we were just like standing right there by the stairs. And he just like grabbed my face and kissed me, and I was like, what the fuck, dude? I was just, it was weird. But that situation, there's a lot more to it past that
situation right there, what you're explaining to me, and in this world where we live right now, that is absolutely sexual assault. So I don't care if you're drunk. I don't care if he's drunk. There's no consent there. What Chris did, regardless of his inebriation, is absolutely uncalled for. Is this something that the world knows? Does Jesssfam tell everybody? How did this go down?
No, but it's crazy to me because it's like this is we'd been drunk together like a lot prior to that,
I
and
believe
it was
you.
never like, I don't care how drunk you are, like, who I am. Who I am. I've been around a time or two, like, I was just like, why,
And she's not mad at you. Just part of the reason where she doesn't really care very much, and we're going to allude to this because we're going to talk about the relationship in a second, but it's because she's so open sexually with Chris, like the threesomes and all this stuff just doesn't bother her.
I think it just goes more back to that she doesn't want another divorce, really. I don't think it's that she's okay with it. I just don't think that she wants another divorce, you know.
Which is a good segue into this question, which is now are they together for the channel just as one another divorced because it looks bad? Is their relationship a big farce?
I mean, she's told me and other people a time or two, like, I would divorce him, but I don't want, you know.
Wow.
I don't want another divorce and like stuff like that. And you know, she was saying that she has receipts about me and him not liking each other, but I'm like, I'm your best friend. If you don't like your husband, and this goes to Amber too, if you don't like these people, I'm not going to like them either.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you don't have receipts of me bashing Chris. You have receipts of us all bashing Chris. All of us bashing, you know, Amber and stuff like that.
I hear you. That's really interesting because what you're saying there is really interesting. You have receipts of me agreeing with you and supporting you is what you're saying, which is what you did. And it sounds like that's what you did throughout this entire relationship, that it wasn't necessarily one-sided, but you were a servant, you helped out, you loved her, you were there for support. But
that's what I love to do.
So, and we've discussed the Chris relationship. Something I think about all the time about family vloggers is that they're together for the paycheck. It's just important. Like, what's Jess gonna do if she gets divorced? She's gonna have 5 kids. Chris isn't going to want to have anything to do with them, clearly. He's going to go back to hopefully taking care of his other kids. And she's just trying to mitigate this. But it sounds like it all kind of fell apart. It's been falling apart. Jesssfam burns every bridge. And you said that she had problems with Amber. She's likely been in and out of relationships with everybody at some point.
Oh my God. Like, oh my God. The stuff with Amber, I'm just, as soon as she came out with a podcast, I couldn't deal with the fakeness anymore. I'm like, I couldn't even listen to this because I know how fucking fake it is.
Yeah.
Like, how are you going to go have a podcast with someone that you completely dislike? And I have literally text messages of her bashing Amber, you know. Jessica was mad that Amber and Gabe didn't move to Elk Grove to be closer to her. Like,
she's so selfish. I've seen their interactions. Amber doesn't like Jess either, though.
You know, Amber's honestly a nice person.
Okay.
I don't know if she doesn't not like. I don't. Maybe. Okay.
But Jess doesn't like Amber.
Right.
But Jess wanted to do this podcast, which is this edgy co-parenting, you know, crazy.
I don't even know what I don't know.
Because Jess lives in this world where it's like she does things, you know, not normally, and she's like, and she uses it as a flex. Whatever, she's made money. Maybe it is a bit of a flex to her, but she does that because she likes to be provocative and all that stuff. But going back to Chris real quick. You guys never had a falling out, but he did the thing that she's accusing you of, and she didn't seem to care at all. And no one has ever addressed the issue that he said. Nobody seems to want to care about that. Right.
Yeah. I mean,
that's crazy to me.
Chris saying he's nothing special. I'm fine. Like, no, absolutely not.
Okay,
he's
so
nothing like I would never date somebody like him. And I've told her time and time again. I'm like, he's sitting on video games.
Yeah.
What the fuck is this shit? What is this?
Does he like being on camera? Does he like being a part of the show?
No, not
Nobody
typically.
does.
No.
Everybody wants to know, and if you have this information, you don't have to tell me. But who have threesomes with? Who the hell is entering into that situation? It's not you, is it?
Oh my God. It's a rough one.
It's not you, is it?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh,
so
shit.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you didn't like me this much. I've been a smoker since she met me in all aspects, like everything. All these things that she's depicting of me has been me. Mm-hmm. But all of a sudden, she doesn't like it anymore because she's got real moms around her.
So when it comes to the threesomes and all that stuff, I mean, it's not, I don't want to harp on it, but is it just you or is it other people that they kind of open their marriage up to?
No, it was just me.
Holy shit. So she's bragging on that. At the same time, he's taken advantage of you. He clearly likes you, and he likely asked her to enter you into the bedroom. And so why is she saying that it's different than that? That's so weird to me.
Right. Yeah, and I always made it completely clear to her, like, I don't have anything for that. It's just the whole fun of it all. You know what I mean? I don't. And she knows how I feel about him.
And no judgment, okay? When consenting adults do what they want to do, I'm all for it, right? But we have to go back to that one point that he took something from you. Correct. Was that before all these things went down with you? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Jeez.
It was before it was ever even a thought, so...
That's crazy. So you know the internet's going to explode with you just saying that. You know that they're going to go crazy.
Okay, so here's the thing, is Jessica she never cared about anyone knowing who and what and why. Okay. It was always, it's me. I'm, like, very scared.
So all that being said, we've got to the crazy tea that everybody was waiting for, whatever. It is what it is. But what is, in your opinion, because you saw it, is the basis of their relationship? What's holding them together then?
YouTube, and I guess the sex. I don't know. Wow. He's a good handyman. He really is, He's a handyman. All right. He can do a lot of things, but he's got to be yelled at,
Oh, okay, he's got to be forced.
But
he's a deadbeat.
This is all also prior to Elk Grove, because I know nothing about Elk Grove. I can't speak about how things are. Maybe everyone's happy. Maybe everyone likes each other. Maybe I was the issue and now everyone's so fucking happy. I don't know.
I doubt it.
I'm happier, so it's okay.
Yeah, exactly. Tell me about this truck thing with Chris. I don't know why I have it in my notes, but like, what happened? Did he buy a truck without her knowing or something?
Oh, no, it wasn't a truck. That's kind of where a huge, like, red flag came out. This is one of the biggest red flags. Is after his dad passed, he got a really nice Buick. His dad passed it down to him. Paid off, I believe, or something. It was whatever. One random day, he goes and trades it in and comes back with a Dodge Charger. And we're like, what the fuck? You don't have income. You don't have a job. You don't do anything. Mm-hmm. So what the fuck did you put on there for you to be able to get a damn car? Like, that car doesn't even fit 2 kids,
Yep.
What the hell are you doing? So that was actually a really big deal. He got kicked to the hotel, for one night, and then he was able to come back, and they kept it for a little bit, but I think that's what they traded in for the truck, I believe.
Okay, so in Jesssfam's world, how does it work with money? Does she give people allowances? Does Chris get to spend whatever he wants?
People as in what? Yeah. He's free. Oh my God. He ran like credit cards up with his video games and stuff. Oh my God, dude. He was spending money like he had so much money. And I'm like, what the hell? What the hell? So finances was an issue for a minute. Probably isn't anymore. It's fine. Whatever. You're married. It's not a big deal. But on the other side is like, you're spending shit on video games and stuff. Like, what are you doing?
Well, it's a good segue now just about the whole thing about what Jesssfam has done for you and living there and the trips and the money. You know what? This is interesting because a lot of people are going to want to be like, okay, well, did Jesssfam spend loads of money? Did you get to go on free trips? They're going to say you're a freeloader. They're going to say all this shit. So now's your chance to just come out with it all.
Yeah, no. If I've not been called a freeloader, but when she did bring it up in that live, that's kind of like a really big stab in the back. You know what I mean? A year and a half I was in nursing school and she would take us on trips or whatever. But the stuff that I would do for her on those trips, I didn't just sit back, relax, and have a grand old time. I'm taking care of her kids with her. You know what I mean? That's 8 kids we would have. It would be typically, you know, us three adults, sometimes Mimi would come. Like, you need all the hands you can get. I never just sat back and relaxed, ever. Anytime I went to that house, I cleaned. And I'm not talking just cleaning a house. Like, this house is a disaster. These kids don't clean anything. They don't clean a single thing, you know? And I'm literally doing laundry. I'm cleaning bathrooms. I'm cleaning toilets. I'm cleaning. Oh my! Me and Alina would do the kitchen. Alina was doing dishes. Like, it's just a fucking mess. And like, for a while, I had this guilt on my shoulder of, oh my gosh, like, all she did for me, and I feel so bad I can't give it back. But no, I did my work. I definitely did.
What you did
work.
was you gave what's called sweat equity, which is very
I gave
valuable.
My heart.
Yeah,
that's what I gave.
Yeah,
I give my heart.
I mean, especially if
I
you
don't
have to,
money. I'm sorry.
you have to bathe her post surgery. Sorry, that's worth a lot of money. As far as like, no thanks.
Right,
okay, no thanks.
Right.
Okay, so that's interesting. I just wanted people to, and you've been on trips with her, so she generally pays for the trips.
I always do. I do my work on those trips. I do it. You know. Yeah. And I
you know, believe you.
I have way too many people behind me that tell me, like, Janelle, you did too fucking much for this girl. And I'm like, well, fuck. You know?
But it sounds like you didn't see it that way. You just saw yourself being a friend to somebody and that you worked.
Yeah, that's all. That's it.
And it was just kind of fake, but you guys, she would pay for the trips, but you would also pour your life into her and help her in so many different ways, right? It sounds like
my
that
daughter
was it.
too.
Okay.
My daughter's like a huge helping hand to her, so big too. You know, we weren't just people, you know, freeloading off of her like other people, you know. Like,
and that's and I don't think Jess would say you were, but she sort of alluded to it, like she was like, oh, I did all these things.
That's actually like disgusting. Honestly, I didn't like that comment.
I got really pissed about that. We're gonna get to all that that video and soon because we got some stuff to tear. So let's an issue, and we know it wasn't sun-kissed butt crack. It wasn't Amber. But like, tell me this story, because we had a conversation. It was kind of heartbreaking, actually.
What story are you talking about? You cut out in the beginning.
Falling out.
The falling out. Oh, of Jessica. We were in Hawaii for New Year's 2020, and on that trip is when we met sun-kissed Talia and her family. It was a great time, great people, but, you know, they smoked and I was down and they were chill ass people. So, you know, I picked it up again, and going home, you know, I continued for a bit and whatnot.
And that caused problems with you and Jess, but hear me out. We gotta reverse. Before we get to the problems, did Talia stalk Jesssfam to get in the video?
Well, I can't say to get in the video, but yes, no, she did. She was watching like her Instagram stories and trying to pick out like where we were and all this stuff. And I missed it because we had to go to a luau. And so me and Alina, we ran to the hotel, and then I guess that's when they met Talia.
Jeez.
But that was the year prior, obviously. That was the year prior, not 20.
Oh, I see. So that did happen. Okay, so you get back.
The 2020 year is when we met her the first year we went. And then when we went back for 2020, we met up with her.
I see. Then you got more comfortable and you were hanging out with your family. Okay. So you get back and you're smoking a little bit. And so what's the issue at this point?
Well, at that point, there wasn't much of an issue. But then when it was continued, I guess. But Jessica and Chris both did try it for sure. Chris took edibles a few times or another. Jessica, you know, tried the edibles a couple times. So she can't really go saying that she's never done it before anymore. So whatever.
So she, in her Q&A, she says she never does that. So she lied.
You know, it was very, very early 2021. So I don't know if she's answered it since.
Yeah, no. She lied. She straight up lied. And that's, you know what? I'm sad that I know that.
I have a video. I have
Yeah.
video proof.
Okay, so let's continue on to the falling out. So you get back. We'll address all the things because Jesssfam seems to think it's because of cigarette butts and some other stupid shit.
Okay,
but
wait.
Let's talk about it.
The cigarette butts. Okay. You know, as I said before, I've been a smoker for the whole time she's known me. You know, it's just one of my gross habits. It's not awesome, whatever. And I was never told that a child picked a cigarette butt up. I cannot recollect ever being told a child picked it up. Definitely there was fights about it, for sure, dude. Like, Chris is just whatever. But I don't understand why the cigarette butts are an issue, but after every single birthday party, there's alcohol bottles in the backyard for weeks.
Yeah.
They never get clean. These alcohol bottles are sitting here with alcohol in them everywhere. So I don't even give a shit about the cigarette butts anymore. You had alcohol free for everything. The kids can drink that. They can't smoke a fucking cigarette on the floor.
So let me talk about this drinking thing for a second. It's actually think it's a really important topic. In your experience, and you've known just for years and years and years, often are these parties happening, like the drinking, the binging, and all the partying. How is that? Is that pretty? Is it rare, or is it a big thing?
It's actually funny because I'm the one that got her into drinking. I'm the culprit there.
Okay.
I was a heavy drinker, and then me and her started drinking, and we would just drink bottles of wine a night, and it was just the greatest time, honestly. We had the greatest time. Like, drunk young Janelle was just so fun. Oh my God. But so she did not start drinking until after Addie, like after Addie, once she was, pretty much allowed to or whatever. And then maybe a little bit before Addie, but really, after Addie, we would just, drink all the time. We would drink maybe 1 to 2 times a week, maybe sometimes 3. It was usually me initiating it because I'm like, hey, I don't have work in the morning. I have a bottle of wine. Can I come drink with you?
Yeah.
And so it was a lot of me. But then when Rosalind and Hannah started coming in, there was more and more parties frequently, and we would just have people come hang out, and hey, can you come tonight? Like, whatever. And we would we did that often, actually.
So if everybody's getting drunk at these houses, is Jesssfam's mom taking care of the kids at these points?
No, her mom wasn't around then. No.
So
but she was also giving alcohol to Hannah, and Hannah wasn't even 21.
Ooh,
so there's
illegal. But the thing that scares me, and the thing that obviously triggers me, is because I remember those moments when I was a kid where there'd be ragers at my house, and it was chaos for a child, especially if there's nobody who's sober, if there's an accident, if one of the kids gets hurt. So it sounds like she's having these ragers, everybody's getting drunk, and nobody to take care of the children. Yeah,
there's really hardly ever a sober person, but I'm included, absolutely.
No, and I get, were the kids sometimes hanging out at these parties, swimming, having a good time with the people partying?
I haven't been there with a pool. Usually it would be like daytime drinking turned to nighttime drinking. And, kids, you need to go to bed, go sit on your iPad, do whatever you need to do. Yeah.
Okay, so we gotta get back to... We get back to the falling out. So the cigarette butts was, you said it's not as big a deal as the drinking, but it was a part of the thing. And it wasn't Talia. You agree that it wasn't Talia that pushed her away. Tell me about what you thought it was, the issue that drew you guys apart.
So for a long time, I've been trying to get her to do a family vacation in Tahoe, right? And I'm like, dude, let's go to Tahoe. Like, you'll love it. The kids will love it. Like, let's do Tahoe or whatever. So one day she texts me. This is July 2020. And she says, I'm going to book a Tahoe trip before my kids have school. It's a Monday through Friday. Would you be able to come? Right after that, it says, your favorite people will be there, though, with a laughing face.
Who's that?
Hannah and Rosalind. So
Oh,
she's
okay.
laughing, saying, "Your favorite people are gonna be there, though. Ha ha."
Okay. She says, "Okay, we're gonna go to this thing that you've been telling me to go to forever,
Been telling
but
me, yeah,
the people that you don't really like are coming." Is she trying
yeah,
to tell you? Is she trying to say
correct.
you shouldn't go?
Yeah. Well, then I said, "Glad you're finally going to Tahoe after I've been trying to get you there, but I'll pass." Kind of not laughing though either. She said, "Are you being a bitch? I can't tell." I said, "The way you added in my favorite people is kind of bitchy."
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, "You made it very clear you don't like them. It seems like they'll be around for everything from now on, too." She goes, "Why can't I have them as my friends? I'm a social person. I like to have people around." I said, "No, absolutely." I said, "I love them for you, not for me. They, but they are legit there every single time I am. I don't want to be around them for everything. Like, I like me and you sometimes."
Yeah, and some people are going to say that that's selfish of you.
No.
But
Yeah.
that's okay. But explain why you don't like them.
It was the 10-year anniversary party that made me absolutely not like them at all, because we're literally planning this huge party, and I understand that they did put a lot of work into it, because I didn't have like the time and mental status and money. Like, hello, I just don't have the freaking money to like be able to do all this extravagant stuff, whatever. But this party, and these are the screenshots that I had posted about Roseland, is they're literally talking about how like they're inviting these people, but they don't want them to come. They're not YouTubers, they're just her normal friends, and they're like, "We don't want them to come, we don't want them to come," and they were just being mean. And then Amber, she was like, "How do we tell Amber we don't want her to be there?" And like all this stuff.
Yeah.
And
When I've seen those screenshots, so
yeah,
you didn't like them, they didn't like you, and it's likely because Jess probably was in the middle,
yeah,
throwing you under the bus.
yeah. Looking back, she's probably been talking about me, and I had no idea. But the day of the part, or we had guests come from out of state, and just the way Rosalind was treating them and the way that I saw her treating them, I just like, oh my God, and I'm not one to, Hannah and Rosalind are very like strong-headed people, and I just don't care and don't
Yeah.
have time for that, honestly. So I'm like, I'm not gonna be stepping on any toes and doing anything. However, all these people that felt their evilness and their really meanness or whatever, I spoke to, afterwards, and, still talk to now. And I'm just like, I'm so sorry I didn't do anything. But at all the parties, and that one also, is I was always going out of my way to make sure her guests felt welcome, because she didn't
Yeah.
ever make her guests feel
'Cause
welcome,
she's
because that's a
self-centered.
production. It's a production.
Yeah.
And it was just, how many people can I get? Let's make sure everyone can come. That way they can see me for, the 1 out of 5 parties, and then I'm just not going to see them again, So it was really a production. And the way that they were with this party, it was just so disgusting. And I couldn't do it. I went and apologized to all these people. I'm like, I'm sorry. And everyone can agree that she's just gotten to her head.
So this big 10-year YouTube party, it just everything gone to her head, and you were apologizing because she was acting like a diva.
Not Jessica. Jessica was acting fine. It's
Okay.
Rosalind and Hannah that just are rude to people. They're so
Like, give me
rude. But
an
Rosalind
example.
especially.
Give me an example.
Oh God, they're just so fucking fake. Well, one of my best friends from nursing school, she became really close with Jessica too. She's got 2 young daughters. One of Landon's last birthday parties, I was not speaking to Jessica or my friend, but my daughter wanted to go to this party. And so I was like, I'm just going to be a bigger person. I'm going to go to this party. My best friend from nursing school came separately, and then I came, and then Jessica, Hannah, and Rosalind are there. My best friend is now telling me, well, not now, but she told me before that Hannah and Rosalind were talking shit about me the whole fucking time, wanting to make me feel uncomfortable and not welcome. And I'm like, well, good thing I don't fucking look at that. Like, I didn't give two shits about anyone there. I was just talking to her family. Like, you can't make me feel uncomfortable. You honestly can't. Like, that's the type of stuff they would do, is try to make people feel very uncomfortable around them. Their just aura is just evil, you know. And I saw it from day one, though. I saw it from day one. And I've watched them be fake, and I've watched them be disgusting, and that's ultimately why I stopped going around as much, because I'm like, girl, every time you invite me, they are there. I don't want to be around them. Like, I don't like them at all.
All right, let's
I was always honest about it too.
And it sounds like you are, and it sounds like Jess is honest too. You guys are brutally honest with each other.
And then Rosalind texted me.
What'd she say?
What the hell, dude? Something about keeping this stuff in private and keeping it...
Oh, tell me what the camera is. What's the camera thing?
No, okay, so she texted me saying something about, you know, the cameras were there prior or whatever. And I'm like, no shit. But the point of it is she kept talking about these cameras in her house, watching these people. Like, she kept talking about it. I got cameras, you know what I mean?
So she's like, got cameras filming everything, so she kind of like has, what, blackmail on people?
Because she did not want to invite these people in her house. She invited these people to come stay at her house, and then she made it the most difficult for them to even get into the house. She's like, and I'm sitting next to her as she's sending these people texts like, oh, I'm late, like, blah, 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 blah. And she's just being conniving, texting these people, like, trying to make them think that, you know, they're still welcome and, you know, whatever. But over here, she's like, I don't want them here. I'm just gonna, you know, whatever. And they made those girls, you know, uncomfortable the whole time. And
let's talk about COVID and the vaccination thing. A lot of people thought because you weren't vaccinated initially that Jesssfam didn't want you. And let's talk about what we talked about, because that was interesting to me.
Well, the vaccine didn't even come out for a while, so that really was super irrelevant, because the whole, you know, COVID, until the vaccine came out, I don't know the dates, I really don't, but it was first, I don't want to see you because you're exposed to COVID, and then it's, I don't want to see you because you won't get the shot. And it's like, that's really none of your damn business, honestly, if I get the shot or not. Because, yeah, I'm a nurse, but I didn't want to get it right away. If you want to get your shot right away, then that's on you. But I don't have to. Like, no. Like, when my work says I had to, you know.
And you got it. But I find it hypocritical, and I think a lot of people do, that, and this is something you told me, is that you said that people, and Jess was saying that in her video, that, you know, her family takes COVID so seriously, and everybody was like, so serious.
And then
but you were working with COVID patients, so they said, okay, we're just trying to create distance that way, which sounded like an excuse, because she was traveling all over the country, Disney and New York during this whole damn thing. So she was a flaming hypocrite liar when she was
Right, and none of her kids were vaccinated when she was traveling. Like, but what she says now is that's what she was using to mask it. And at the end of the day, like, why couldn't you just tell me you didn't want to be my friend? Why did you have to pull all this bullshit and tell the public this is why you don't want to be my friend? But you're going to throw, I didn't get vaccinated?
Also, things about this whole smoking situation. That thing, that has pissed so many people off, Janelle, about her throwing your kid under the bus. Explain how this went down and why she said that.
Oh my God. Alina texted her. Alina has Jessica in her phone as mommy number 2.
Wow.
And Alina texted her and said, why are you talking about me? Don't talk about me. Don't have my name in your mouth or something. And why are you saying my mom's a bad mom? Like, she was like, I can't believe you would say something like that or something. I didn't look at the text because Alina was like, I don't want to show you. But I'm like, I don't care that you did, but that's literally her second mom. And she was so upset about that. She's like, I can't believe that. And so that situation happened at my daughter's 10th birthday. Again, if you had issues with me at my daughter's 10th birthday, you should have just ended it there if that was the end. You know what I mean? Just end it there. But this situation was spoken about at the party. I automatically talked to Alina, absolutely. And she's like, no, it's not me. It's not me. You know when your kid's lying. I know, you know, parents know when their kid's lying, and she was not lying. Like, no. Yes, her little friend is, you know, has a whole different lifestyle. None of our lifestyles are Jessica's lifestyles, but we have different lifestyles, you know. We've all grown up differently. The other little girl was not raised in a healthy household. Now her household's better and she's becoming better, but like to throw her under the bus and stuff, that girl she's had some childhood damn trauma, you know what I mean? It's like, don't, you know, make this, you know, all crazy. And then to say that I think Alina was smoking, but I don't really know. No, absolutely not. Like, don't say that.
That to me was, of all the things that Jess was saying, that to me was just the most inappropriate, and the most response I've got from my video was about that moment where she was like, well, she was just throwing, again, it wasn't even about you, it was about she's trying to pinpoint, and laughing about it and pinpointing it on you like it's your fault, and she's saying, well, we just aren't going to be around that, except for Jess, you were debaucherous.
Around it for 10 years, you know what I mean? We've been the same people for 10 years. You lived it for 10 years, and now all of a sudden I'm not good enough because you have real moms around you. Like, get out of here. You know what I mean?
Okay. No. I want to talk about this 5-hour dinner. What is, explain this thing.
Okay. So the way she says, I met up with her at Chevy's for 5 hours. She happened to be in the area. She thought she was going to have to go to a different city, and it turns out her kid's dance competition was in San Francisco. It was literally by chance. She didn't go out of her way. You know what I mean?
But what was it all about? She took you out for dinner? Yeah. What happened?
So we met up because it'd been a long time since we've spoken face to face, and I had a lot to say to her because I was hurt, you know? And so I pretty much told her everything about how I'm feeling. We talked about the mental health. She again tells me I know nothing about mental health. I tell her, you could have done a lot more during COVID. I said, I would have sat with you outside 6 feet apart with a damn mask if I had to, just to see you, just to be around you. I would have done that. Oh, I didn't even think about that. I know, because you're not thinking of ways to hold our relationship. That's why. You're literally not trying. There was no try. Like, yeah, you sent me a text message here and there, and then you send me a bouquet of fruit. I don't need that. I want your time. That's what I need. So I pretty much use that time to just like pour my heart out and tell her everything of how I'm feeling. And nothing got reciprocated. There was no change.
There was no return of so you were pouring it out. She just kind of ignored it.
Right. There was no change after that. We called Chris on that little dinner. I was like, hey, let's call Chris. Let's say truce. You know, let's be friends, whatever. And we did. And, you know, me and Chris, we go back and forth fighting and not fighting, you know. So I'm like, cool. We're cool again, you know, because he would make me feel uncomfortable going to Elk Grove. I would go there and then he'd be like, why are you here? What are you doing here? And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing here? What the hell? Like, I've been here for 10 years, over 10 years. What the fuck are you doing here?
It sounds like, and you've been taking care of the kids more than he ever has taken care of the kids.
Yes, right. Yeah, no, he like feels like he's like superior at something. And I'm just like, don't fucking treat me like shit, dude. Like, I've been here since day fucking one, dude. Like, no.
Is there any truth
I'm
to
the only
Chris's...
one that has stuck around.
Yeah, is there any truth to Chris's past about the knife situation with his ex and all that stuff? Do you know anything about that
Yeah,
stuff?
I think that's true. I don't know, like, any... It was something about them being in a hot tub and he pulled a knife out, but...
Whoa, okay.
I mean...
Sounds like a class act. Okay.
But then they weren't, like, really broken up. They were just separated. I don't know.
Why do you honestly think that she pushed you away? Like, we talk about the cigarette butts or the kids or whatever. What was the honest reason? Do you think it was just because she was moving on with other friends?
Now, like, you know, as I say, like, every day I'm learning more and more about why. And I and the people around me just truly believe she just, one, stopped liking me. Two, I never picked up on the YouTube thing. Sure, because I was smoking, whatever, but Talia smokes. I doubt she stopped smoking coming to California. If it was illegal in Hawaii, she's definitely got to be smoking now. Oh, because I wasn't drinking also, is I don't think I was good content anymore. I'm more chill. I'm not wired and stuff like that. I want to be chill. I don't want to be drunk anymore. And then also just possibly just because I'm not able to be there as much as I told her at one point, I was like, I'm sorry, I have nothing that you can hire me for to be able to stay my friend. You know what I mean? Like, because she hired Hannah as a nanny and then she hired her mom, and I was like, I guess I'm not hireable. So, okay. Yeah.
Plus, it sounds like you were getting your degree, which is
LVN.
You were going to school to be a nurse, and it was a path that your life was on. And she was like, okay, if you're going to do that, then you must not be serious about wanting to be in my world.
Right. Something like that. And that's, you know, something that I'm understanding more and more every day. I'm like, damn, you know, if I had just been a YouTuber, you know, I think I posted on my Instagram a long time ago, and I was like, damn, if I just stuck to being a YouTuber, I'd probably have a friend. Because Talia moves to California and she like goes all out for her and stuff. And I'm like, damn, I moved to San Francisco and I didn't get shit, dude. I want to jump a little bit back to when she talked about the Florida trip.
Okay.
She took Rosalind on the Florida trip, and then she says that I was, what was her words? It was said pretty much like I was angry that she didn't take me and my daughter and pay for us. And I'm like, no, at this point she'd been taking trip after trip after trip with Rosalind. And I'm like, you still have not remembered me. You still have forgotten me. Like, after I'm telling you time after time, like, I don't feel like, you know, you're trying, you know what I mean? Pretty much. And then, so that's when I had texted her about the, wow, go have fun with your new bestie. You know, I'm like, fuck that. I was at work this day. Okay. I was at work. I see this post and my world just dropped. I just was bawling for hours for the rest of it. I just couldn't believe it. And then the next day she literally texts me a picture of a shirt saying like something about it was like an aerial shirt about like smoking weed or something like that. And I'm like, so do you have a problem with the weed smoking or no? Like, what is this? Like, how are you going to send me a joke and then, but you don't like me for it? So I felt the most betrayed right then. I think that's when I went and unfollowed and stuff. I believe, because I just like, I can't see this anymore. Like, this is so ridiculous. And then, so then when she posted this video, I didn't see it until the morning, and I'm, you know, trying to catch the bus to get to work, and I'm just like, what the hell? My best friend, actually, one of my best friends, she screen recorded it. And then she called me in the morning, and I was like, well, are you going to send it to me? And she's like, no, I don't think you want to see it. I was like, okay, well, like, I think you have to send it to me. And then she sent it, and then that's when everything, I was just like, holy shit, dude. Like, I cannot believe this right now. And like the rest of that day and the 5 days after that, like, I didn't sleep. I had no appetite. It was just, Oh my God, dude. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, why? Because I even posted on my Instagram that day. I'm like, how is this bringing truth to anybody? I don't understand why why people are saying, you know, like, why? Because she spoke the truth, because she spoke the truth. And I'm like, what does that tell you? It doesn't tell you anything. Like, this has been me for so long, you know, like, she's not telling you.
She was totally lying or was misrepresenting the truth, misrepresenting the facts. But did you get any follow-up? Did people send you messages about how dare you go after Jess, or did you get that kind of stuff?
Oh, just very few. Oh my God. What I say, I would tell them, I'm like, you know, you're only 1 in 1,000 coming to defend Jessica, right? I literally tell them, I'm like, there's literally 5 of you in my DMs that want to defend her. And, you know, the one that I called that answered, the first thing she was saying was, you're just jealous of Rosalind. You're just jealous of Rosalind. And I said, girl, wait, stop. No. I'm like, no, girl, let me tell you. And so we just talked for an hour, and we were just like, she told me her story. I told her my story. And we just like, she was just the sweetest thing. And I was just like, hey, I'm so grateful that you answered, because, you know, people are little bitches. Like, how are you going to come message me like this stuff and then not want to have a conversation about it? Like, I genuinely was very curious. Why the hell is this okay? You know?
Are these people that you were talking to, have they met Jess, or are they just her fans?
Oh, just, what are they called?
Jess stands?
Jesssfams? Jesssfams.
So they weren't actually, they weren't somebody that Jess had met.
Her.
Oh
and
my
I
gosh.
literally tell them, I say, you know, you don't know anything. You know, you're just watching what is on YouTube. This one girl tried telling me, well, at least her kids are healthy. And I'm like, off Top Ramen? You're not healthy if you eat Top Ramen like 5 days out of the week.
Those kids don't eat good food. We know that.
Tyson and Landon eat pretty well, but that's it. That's all. No.
Okay, so it was a terrible few days. Obviously, we spoke on the phone.
Yeah.
I'll have the screenshots of some of those things that people said, but one question I had was how scary it is to come up against someone that has a huge platform, who you thought and you know a lot about, and like, did you feel that you were like your job was in danger? Did you feel like what the heck? Why would she do something like this?
Yeah, no, I mean, the thing is, so you reached out to me when me and her first stopped being friends a while back or whatever, and I was like, the fuck, I'm not gonna go talk about nobody, you know what I mean?
Yep,
that's just not, no, that's not my, never, like, no. But then to be like, just, oh my God, I'm just like, how many people around my work is gonna see this? It was going to get blown up whether I came here to speak about it or not. That's the thing, is like, people were going to talk about it, you know? And so I was like, I'm not going to let this just go down, you know, in a bad name. I posted to my TikTok, I posted a video of her saying she didn't just lose me. She lost her mom and her daughter, or whatever, 4,000 views. Like, that shit needs to be put out there, because for someone to attack someone with mental health is just wild to me. And everything that she spoke about me is all mental health related. You know what I mean? People don't just smoke and drink because they want to smoke and drink. They do it to cover pain. They do it to get their mind off of things. It's just a thing. You know what I mean? And to be like slammed for what I've gone through, for leaving my daughter, for doing this, that, and the other, I'm just like, holy fuck, dude. That's brutal.
She was kicking you while you were down, and she was taking advantage.
Yes, she called me a bad mother. I'm like, no,
That's
like,
rich.
my daughter is very well taken care of. It may not be by me right now, but my daughter knows where I'm at. She knows exactly what I'm doing. I tell her we're going to have a better life when I get back. I tell her, you know, I've had a lot of depression. I've been struggling a lot. I tell her I'm not having a great time out here. I cry a lot. You know, it's just my life. It's been a a year of nothing but struggle. Nothing but struggle.
I want to encourage you too that good for you for being there, and you're taking care of yourself so that you can be there for your daughter initially and down the road, and you're working and you're doing what you have to do, and take it from a guy who was raised by a single mom. I want to just give you props that you're trying your best, and not everybody gets it right all the time, but Jesssfam is not the benchmark for a good mother. She's a terrible person.
Exactly.
I'm sorry. Like, she exploits her children. In the end, she exploits her children online for money, and there's just no redeeming qualities about that. Her kids are living in a house where you have suggested, and I believe you, that the marriage is dead, that the guy doesn't even, he's not even there as a father figure. He's playing video games all the time. She's partying and drinking and boozing it up, and she has friends that are just not loyal and gross.
Stupid.
And her daughter's lost her best friend, who's your daughter, and that doesn't seem to care about anything. So I just want to encourage you that don't. And I know it's hard to not just take this, but don't take what she says as gospel. Jesssfam is a loser, and you're way better person than she is, because at least you're actively trying to better yourself.
Yeah. Oh my God, dude. Like I have. 1 year ago, I could have given up. And I could have gone back home and stayed miserable. I could have done it because I was in the lowest part of my life 1 year ago. Lowest, and I could have just given up. Like, I fucking didn't. You know what I mean? And I'm just like freaking out here. It's wild to me. And if someone doesn't want to support that, that's fine. But like, don't bash me for the way I had to do it. This is how I had to do it. So
just before we end it, because my kids are heading to bed, is there anything you wanted to get off your chest before? Like, is there anything that I missed here that you wanted to say?
Real quick. Oh, this thing about leaving to go to San Francisco for a guy, it's like so much untrue, because my friend got me a job out here, and a week into me being here, he ghosted me. And I still made it a year without him, like literally. So I'm like, I didn't come here for a guy, and I didn't stay here for a guy. So that's crazy to me too.
Yeah.
Like, I did it. And again,
anything we can revisit this, because I know we probably glossed over a bunch of stuff. There's going to be some people with a ton of questions, and I want to say how much I appreciate you coming on here. But I think you needed to. And I think you did it really well. You didn't really give away too much, and you were very fair, but you definitely dropped some T-bombs. We'll say that for sure. I mean, there's going to be some chatter. There will be some chatter. But the one thing I just want to make sure that you realize, it's not okay what Chris did. And I know that maybe in the lifestyle you guys led, that just you kind of glossed that over.
Right.
Because it's a party, but I want to make sure you guys that you realize that is not okay. He took something from you that did not belong to him, and you are justified in your exposing that. That's a big deal.
Yeah, it was uncomfortable.
Her kids need to know that that's not okay, and it doesn't sound like they're learning consent. It doesn't sound like they're teaching the kid any of that stuff. And all this stuff is in the future that they're going to find, and that she bashes her dads, and it's just crazy that these kids have to. The scariest part about all this, Janelle, regardless of your story and Jess's story, is in the end, there's a bunch of kids that sit in the middle of this thing. They're the ones who are going to suffer in the end. I never really thought about, like, she really only makes money off of the kids, and that's like, when you really think about that, that's kind of crazy. Like, it's and again, so it's crazy. Being exposed. It's relatively new that people like me are exposing that. Someone said that she talked about going bra shopping for Lilia in a video. That happened? I think so. That's not okay. No, it's not. That's not okay at all. If that's real, then I couldn't believe I saw that comment. And I'm like, oh my God, dude, no fucking way. And I'll find out for sure. Okay, Janelle, I got to wrap it up. The kids are heading to bed. We got a big day tomorrow. But I want to just, again, say thank you so much for being here. There's going to be many questions. So when this video goes live, get in that chat. Sure, people have more questions, maybe, or we'll just probably, instead of doing a live, we'll just revisit it with another video. I'll ask people for all their questions, and then we'll just answer all the questions. In the big Q. Amazing. Janelle, I want to just encourage you again. When is this one going live? I'm going to edit tomorrow night, which then will be probably Friday.
Friday. Okay.
I'm thinking Friday. But there's going to be a lot of people excited about watching this. And I, again, appreciate your time. And again, we'll do a Q&A, and then we'll do another video, because there's going to be lots of questions that even I missed, and people have way more information with Jess that they want to know. And so it's your opportunity to take your power back, to be honest with you.
Yeah. And I hear you there.
And be encouraged. You're doing something awesome, and you're getting your life on track, and that's more than a lot of congratulations to you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, Janelle, let's connect afterwards. It's gonna be a crazy couple of days after this video goes down. Okay.
I'm so nervous.
Okay, Janelle, thank you so much.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye. So I really want to just thank Janelle again for being in that video. I just really want to thank Janelle again for taking the time to come talk to us about that stuff. There's a lot of people who are invested in this type of story. I mean, a lot of it's like, well, why are you doing the tea? Why are you talking about this type of stuff? Well, Janelle had an opportunity to, make her voice heard, to stand up for herself against someone who has a massive platform that was coming after her and her own child. I don't think anybody will agree, even if you don't like this type of drama stuff, that Jess should have ever had a 10-year-old's name in her mouth like she did. Okay, especially her daughter's best friend. That was just uncalled for, and as you heard from here, as you heard it from Janelle, it's heartbreaking, and it's just crazy what this is going through. But Janelle had the opportunity to, come on the show. I asked her to take a few days to think about it, send her some questions. She decided she wanted to do it, and she's an adult, and my platform is here for her, because some people won't like this style of video, but in the end, it's a means to an end, right? We're saying, hey, we're exposing who Jess really is to these fans who think that she's awesome. And when people start waking up to the realization that these people are not awesome, then maybe they'll start saying, and they exploit kids. So not only are they not awesome, but they're also exploiting kids. So they're complete and utter a-holes. And you should never, ever stack yourself up against them, because you're probably better than them. So again, Janelle's going to come on again. I'm going to ask you guys a whole ton of questions, and we're going to do a whole other Q&A video for you guys. And again, thanks to Janelle for being here and with her time. And she wants to put it behind her. She'll do another video, but I think let's let her get on with it. I'm sure Jesssfam's going to retaliate in some way. We'll see. But we'll be there for Janelle if she does that. If Jess decides she wants to retaliate, because she's going to want to, we'll stand behind Janelle. Well, I will. I'm sure you guys will as well, and I really appreciate that of you. So everybody take a deep breath. Right? The things that we learned today, were you guys like I was, or was it just me being that way because I'm biased? I don't know, but that was crazy. You are gorgeous, beautiful, exceptional, and super damn valuable. And don't you ever forget it, all right? And I'll see you when I get back home to the cold-ass Canada. Ugh. We'll see you then.